Hey, Doug Garrison here, just checking my playlist. I've got some good stuff on here. I've got Everything Under the Sun, Drive, Jerry Mills, Carrie Yost. It's all from the Doug Garrison Show. More than 2 years worth of good music, all on my playlist. I'd love to share it with you, but, well, I guess I can. We put it all together in one big show called The Playlist with Doug Garrison, and it starts now.
Tell the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound, PFL. Roll tape on masters to all the places. All right, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics, standby effects, standby CG. Standby to open on 3, 2. All right, folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
Thanks for joining us for The Playlist. I'm Doug Garrison of The Doug Garrison Show, and for the next 2 hours, we're going to present many of the groups and musicians who have appeared on our show since we first went on the air back in October of 2010. We've got all styles of music from Christian rock to rap and just about everything in between. And we're going to talk to some friends of mine who shared their thoughts on the local music scene. You know, since we've been doing this show, I've discovered there's a great passion for music in this area. And I think you'll find that's evident in the performances you see tonight. So stick around. We'll be right back with The Playlist.
Are you ready to make some music? Well, Jim's Music and Teaching Center is where it all starts. A great selection of instruments and the area's best music teachers make Jim's Music your one-stop music shop. Jim's Music has name brand instruments, new and used. Plus, they rent and repair, and they have everything you need for school band and orchestra. Jim's Music, locally owned and operated for more than 25 years, and now in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter.
There they are, the first band that ever appeared on our show, headed up by a friend of mine from the old college days, Dan Keller. They were featured on our holiday program, which was December 30th, 2010. This is Drive.
Love the style.
The Playlist with Doug Garrison is presented in part by Jim's Music and Teaching Center in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, your music, your way. All right, here's one that I really liked. She's a great singer, songwriter, plays a great guitar. She's appearing these days on Sunday evenings from 6 to 9 in the North Star Lounge at the Landmark Inn. From February 3rd, 2011, here's Carrie Yost.
Said we'll sleep when we're dead, but I'm so tired, and I think it's time to rest. This search for peace has left me weary. Oh, my darling dear, I wish you could hear how they're making the bigger, the better, whatever entertains them through the rainy weather. I don't know what you want, but I'm not the one to give it. I don't know what you need, but I'm not prepared to figure it out. Hapless love comes undone, just throw it to the wind. I am learning. It'll all work out, but I'm so stressed now. I'm overwhelmed with doubt, daunted by the woes I'm given. I fail to recognize the skin I'm in. Yeah, I don't know what you want, but I'm not the one to give it. I don't know what you need, but I'm not prepared. Were made, it's a common phrase, an eloquent defense. I am human, you are human. I walked along a familiar path, followed a songbird, and she sang to me.
More cowbell. Great. All right, joining us tonight, our first guest on the playlist, no stranger to the Doug Garrison Show, is Jeff Krebs. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You've appeared on the Doug Garrison Show a couple times under a couple different band names, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I wanted you to come on tonight because we're talking to a lot of band members out there, musicians, young people just getting started in the industry, and I think you're kind of on the ground floor of that, being manager at Jim's Music and Teaching Center. Let's say we're talking to someone who wants to get started in the industry. Maybe they've already played an instrument, maybe through school instruction, and they want to reach out and start to expand their talents a little bit. You start out with lessons, and where do you go from there?
I think lessons are a great way to start. Instruments, if you learn one instrument, it can lead in well to another instrument. You might find your specialty down the road. You know, you might start on piano and then go to violin or cello or what have you. But I think that definitely, starting with lessons is good. It's important to play with other people, and at the store we have a message board where people can get together. That's often good for people to hook up. Often high school kids will just play together as friends and form a band too.
Let's talk a little bit about equipment. Obviously, it can be an expensive proposition. You get guitars and drum sets and all types of things. What do you encourage people to how do you encourage them to get into that ballpark? Can you rent equipment, buy gear, identify what type of instrument you're going to be locked into? How do you go there?
Well, we do rent a lot of band and orchestra instruments especially. We also rent PA systems, and we rent guitars for people that are starting out. They can rent.
Do you encourage
guitar.
that? Do you think, as far as people kind of just getting into the industry, rather than make that initial capital expense, to maybe rent and try some different things out?
It is often beneficial for the parents to start renting, see if their kid is really interested and how committed they are to that. So
some people, I think they start out, this is going to be their career, and then after a few months, they're diverted into something else.
Well, it can be frustrating just trying to learn an instrument, and because we want instant gratification, but you really have to work at it, and you have to keep that constant energy and interest going, and then you can succeed at it.
You certainly have to have a passion for it, especially when it comes to practicing. I mean, people see bands on television, they think that just happens. It doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of work.
No, it's a lot of work, and it is a lot of passion.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
What about, kids who play multiple instruments? Do you find that someone who has music in their blood, I like to say, that they can adapt to all types of different instruments? I mean, there's string, there's percussion, there's woodwind.
There are definitely some people that can, my brother-in-law, for instance, that can play pretty much anything you put in front of him. So I think some people are more adept at that at others, and some just stick to one thing and excel at it.
Yeah. What about recording? If a group kind of gets themselves together, they're becoming proficient, and they say, hey, we'd like to try to start recording some things. How do they go about that?
Well, I think in the last, say, 10 years, home recording has become much more popular. It's more affordable to get decent quality computer recordings, and we sell.
In other words, you don't necessarily have to go to a big studio somewhere.
You don't necessarily. I think the best sound is going to be in a studio.
Yeah.
But you can, if you're smart about it and you put enough time into it, you can make good home recordings. That's how I did one of my CDs.
Yeah. So you can go from start to finish and come up with a finished product just from home if you have the right equipment.
You can. I did get some help, but and it helps to have the pros on certain sides of it.
Sure. What about taking that next step? What if you said, gee, we're good enough, we want to get into a studio somewhere? Does that involve some expense on their part, or do they sign contracts, or how does that work?
Studio equipment is, in general, very, very expensive. So studios will have to charge a decent amount, a month, an hourly rate, and sometimes that can be high.
Right.
Yeah. So it's more of a commitment.
What about distribution? Once you've come up with the CD, how do you distribute it?
I think a lot of bands are going to sources where they can get 100 to 1,000 CDs to start with. And then, it really helps having your family and friends involved, being behind you. Facebook is important for bands lately, for getting the word out.
Put them in places like Jim's Music?
Yes. We sell local CDs. We sell a fair amount, too.
Sure. Let's talk about you a little bit. You have a pseudonym called Papa Crow. That's what you perform under, and that's a kids' music venture that you do. Tell us about that.
Yes. I guess for about 4 years now, I've been writing and recording and performing as Papa Crow. I do kids and family music, and all original. It's been great fun and very refreshing for me.
Well, I think being in the industry and giving lessons, getting people started, kind of a natural thing for you to perform for kids, and I think you also have kids performing with you from time to time, don't you?
I do, yeah, and that can be really fun and unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's been since I've had kids, it's the natural progression. I want to entertain them, and I just found it was so fun that you get a bunch of kids together, and it's been just great. Yeah.
Well, you were on the show as Papa Crow, and we have a sample of that, the performance by Papa Crow from the Doug Garrison Show. Let's check it out.
You guys ready to roar? This is a song about a roaring contest.
All the things that roar had a contest for the loudest and the greatest of the roars. All the things that roar. There was a lion and a tiger, a bear, a dinosaur. All the things that roar. There was a dragon, a gorilla, an alligator. All the things that roar. There was a monster and a walrus, an elephant and more. And they went roar, 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 roar. All the things that roar. And of all the things that roar, the one who shook the forest from the treetops to the floor. Of all the things that roar, the one louder than thunder, echoing from shore to shore. Of all the things that roar, the one who was the loudest was the smallest, a little girl named Eleanor, and she went roar, 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 roar. All the things that roar. All the things that roar. Thank you. How about for my band, The Things That Roar?
Here's a high-energy band of young guys that we really enjoyed very much. In fact, they won an award recently called the Charter Communications Center Stage Battle of the Bands for the state of Michigan. From March 31st, 2011, here's Everything Under the Sun.
Here we go! From a woman, but no she can't forget. See the way she moves, the way she moves, and you ever wonder how you were born, man. You'll look for the when you wake, she was not a man, she don't need to look at them. And don't wake at night until the morning light, she only wishes that she understood. She's just so cool, you don't know why. You have the hardest time trying to say goodbye, and something about the look in her eyes said it keeps you captivated every single time, cause she's just the cutest girl in the world that you ever seen. You don't know what you're doing here, you just you're living in a dream, and you got too little time to reason, too little change inside your pocket. Too waking up next to all sunshine, ready to do things like this, and you don't know what to do. Is it really going on? Can you comprehend the 2 + 2 and now say so she lies from now to 5, while knowing that the strain of it will soon consume her life. So she gets up, she heads out, she fills her life with happiness and drains out all the doubt. And all the while, she thinks of me.
Well, here's another one of my favorites, but I'm saying that about all of them because I do like them all. This is a performance from August 25th, 2011, accompanied by Bob Like. Here's singer-songwriter Jess Wachter.
You got me peeping, you got me hiding, you got me deep, hide, peeping. Anywhere you want it, let it roll, oh baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. I'm going up, I'm coming down. I'm going up, down, down, up, and anywhere you want it, let it roll, oh baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. Well, I'm going east, well, I'm going west, well, I'm going east, west, west, east, anywhere you want it, let it roll, oh baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. I'm coming out, I'm going in, out, out, in, anywhere you want it, let it roll, oh baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, baby, what you want me to do. You got me hiding, you got me peep, hide, peep. Anywhere you want it, let it roll, oh baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got me doing what you want me, what you want me to do.
Thank you very much.
Are you ready to make some music? Well, Jim's Music and Teaching Center is where it all starts. A great selection of instruments and the area's best music teachers make Jim's Music your one-stop music shop. Jim's Music has name brand instruments, new and used. Plus, they rent and repair, and they have everything you need for school band and orchestra. Jim's Music, locally owned and operated for more than 25 years, and now in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter.
Well, we've had more than 50 different groups and musicians perform on our show since we began. Obviously, we can't show all of their performances in their entirety tonight, so we put some of our favorites together in a neat little montage package. Here's a sample of performances from year 1 of the Doug Garrison Show.
When did you leave heaven? How could they let you go? How's everything in heaven? I'd like to know.
I'm never letting this go. Stuck on you, whoa, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue. Whoa, stuck like glue. You and me, baby, we're stuck like glue. Whoa, you want more space? Our two stuck together from the FDA. Whoa, you feeling kinda sick? Just a spoonful of the sugar make it better real quick and now.
Wasn't that long ago since you walked down that aisle, said you loved him instead of me? Should I walk around this town? Would it be easier if I'm not around? In the morning I'll see you dancing.
That I wanna make it right, I wanna make it right, I wanna make it right with you, baby, here tonight. Take my little hand, we'll walk out on the sand, and way out on the beach we'll release till we reach the land of peace and delight. I wanna make it right.
She love me like, love me like. She love me like, love me like. She love me like, love me like. Girl, you're amazing, got me acting crazy, spending all my time with my beautiful baby. Girl, you're amazing, got me acting crazy, spending all my time with my beautiful baby. You wanna lie? You always suffer more than me. You always show thoughts memory. I would really like to be a fish in the sea, swimming so freely. But you are more like a bird, soaring so unheard across the earth. We'll make you love again, make you love again. We'll make you love, love, make you love again. Make the world love again. We'll make you love, 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 love again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa,
So I smile and say, when a lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes. Smoke gets in your
The Playlist with Doug Garrison is presented in part by Jim's Music and Teaching Center in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, your music, your way. All right, welcome back to The Playlist. I'm here with someone who is becoming a good friend of mine, Don Marple of Flanagan's Don, thanks for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.
You're becoming a big part of the music scene in the Marquette area by virtue of the fact that you own Flanagan's, and it's becoming quite a hot spot for live music.
We're giving it our best.
Well, you're doing a good job. Tell me a little bit about your music background. You're a musician yourself.
I started playing drums in bands at 7 years old.
Yeah.
In Uncle's band, and then I played music, live music, most of my life. And then we bought Flanagan's.
Yeah.
And then being as small as it was, we started the karaoke thing. But my heart's always going back to live music. So now we're trying to incorporate live music and the karaoke in the bar.
Yeah. Well, karaoke's a big thing there.
Yeah, it seems to.
And karaoke's fun. I'm not a karaoke singer myself, and everybody can thank me for that. But you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I give people a lot of credit who want to get up there and take a shot at it. So, and that's a lot of fun. But you have a regular schedule now. You've got your Friday night, your 501 happy hour, which actually starts at 6.
Right.
And that's every Friday. You're going to have a different band in there every Friday.
And Thursday.
And Thursday, the same thing. And you've got your banner out in front, tells who's playing. That's good. Another thing that you kind of really took on this year and working on expanding is that patio in the back.
Yeah, we're hopefully that if business keeps up like it has been, we'd like to enclose the whole back end and, like a pavilion kind of top on it. And that way we can have live event outside, and then we still do the karaoke inside because we're limited to space.
Yeah.
So if we can expand and have room and put a stage in, and that way we can continue to have music all year long.
Yeah, well, I was out there a couple times this summer, and it's a lot of fun to be outside listening to a great band, whether it's a band you brought in from somewhere else or one of our local bands.
Right.
But that works pretty well. Anytime we can spend time outside here is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Summers are short.
Yeah, and speaking of, you're expanding your options there. We talk about venues for music around the area. We've seen a couple of our bars that used to have bands kind of have done away with them. And I think some of that has to do with some of the rights fees that bar owners have to pay. Can you kind of explain what's going on there?
Yeah, well, obviously you've got ASCAP and BMI, which are two of the music industries, way artists and writers get their fees.
Right, nothing wrong with that.
No, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And but the fees are starting to go up, and bar owners have to pay them if you're going to use the music. And the thing is it's not so much that as our local people. If we could get support, that would make it much easier. The fees are okay. I don't mind paying those.
Yeah.
It's just we need some support to help pay for those.
Coming in, exactly. Speaking of that, let's transition into a little bit to, I think we've got probably some young musicians out there watching tonight, just getting started in this industry with maybe they're taking their garage band and they're maybe ready to go out and perform in public. As an owner of a bar that books bands, what types of things do you look for when you're trying to book a band, and what kind of advice could you give to some young people that are looking to take that next step?
That's one of the things we pride ourselves on, giving young people a platform or some place to play, maybe even for their first time. What I look for is talent, entertainment value. If they can entertain a crowd and draw some people into the bar. Obviously, bar owners need to make money to pay the bands.
Yeah.
If we can't make a profit on it or be able to at least break even, it's hard to pay bands. But what we're looking for is talent.
Yeah.
We're looking for the entertainment value of the group.
Yeah. What as far as, I mean, they can't do much about their talent. Obviously, they can practice and try to get better. But do you suggest if they're a cover band, the types of music they're going to play? Do they have to kind of know what kind of people are coming into your bar, and what kind of homework should they be doing?
Yeah, we actually do that ahead of time. We kind of try to listen to the bands, wherever possible. And if it looks like it's going to be a fit for the crowd that we have, then we'll jump all over that. But even so, with that said, we'll still give them a break to at least come in and have a place to bring friends, family, that give them a shot. We obviously, again, we're back to the talent.
Sure.
If the entertainment value is there, you got to realize kids today we have so many talented young individuals in this city.
We sure do.
It's amazing how much talent we have in this city, and I'd like to showcase it.
Yeah, well, that's good, and we appreciate that. If they obviously, if they get booked somewhere, it's important to them get themselves on their social media, let all their friends know they're playing.
Exactly.
Let's show up, come through the door.
And be in a bar, the drinking age thing, that comes into play too. That's a real problem when we're trying to give the real young kids a shot at it, and bringing your young high school kids into it. It makes it very difficult.
Sure. And what about encouraging young bands to write their own material? I know sometimes we go into a bar, we like to hear good cover bands, but I also encourage bands to try to create music too.
Absolutely. Creativity is something I highly encourage these young bands to have, because you never know what may come out of it.
Yeah. Well, I've talked to some people, and they said, well, gee, we don't know how to do that. Well, so you just got to start doing it. You have to try. You just have to sit down and put some notes together and see what you can come up with, because unless you start putting stuff down on paper, it's never going to happen. So,
right, exactly.
And like you said, you never know where it's going to come from. You never know where it's going to materialize. So you mentioned, I just want to touch base on that again, you mentioned you're looking forward to maybe expanding that back patio in the upcoming, maybe next summer, and doing what you can do there to...
We're hoping so.
Yeah.
You know, depending on the economy and you know, how many people keep turning out. If we get enough support, anything can happen.
Yeah, well, you had a great band there a while back, Biscuit Miller and the Mix. I was there. It was your last weekend for the bar, the patio area in the summer. And that was tremendous. Obviously, we don't have bands in from Chicago every weekend, but every now and then you mix in a band from out of town that's real special, and you got your local bands that we know they're talented and doing good stuff too. We'll try to support you. I'll be there with you too. Check out Flanagan's on Facebook. Check out that banner on front. The Thursday and Friday 601 happy hours. You won't be disappointed. Check out some of the music at Flanagan's. Don, thanks for joining us, and thanks for doing what you do for the music industry in this area. We appreciate that. All right, stick around. We'll be right back with more of the playlist. All right. You know, I've made a lot of new friends since doing this show, and I would consider Denise Haas one of them. She comes from Ramsey, Michigan, over in the Ironwood area. Great singer, songwriter, and she performed on our show on April 26, 2012 with her son. They're called Big D and Son.
It was hard to watch you fade away, and it seems like only yesterday we were worshiping our Lord together. But now you're really there, bowing down before the throne with 10 million saints and angels and Jesus face to face. And I see you on the other side where there's no more pain and no goodbyes. Jesus reigns and children play, and no one wonders what to say. But every day the joy just grows, and every day it's a welcome home. Well done. It's hard to stay when you want to go, and you tried so much to choose, but God already knew this is the day the Lord has made. And how I wish I could be there right now, but I've put my hand tight to the plow, and our Father's work is not finished in me yet. But I'll see you on the other side where there's no more pain and no goodbyes. But Jesus reigns and children play, and no one wonders what to say. But every day the joy just grows, and every day it's a welcome home. Well done. I have a million questions, like what song are you singing right now? What do those mansions look like? Have you met David, Moses, or Paul? Have you seen your little girls yet? Can you see the end of this paradise? And how does heaven really feel? But I'll see you on the other side where there's no more pain and no goodbyes. Jesus reigns and children play, and no one wonders what to say. Where every day the joy just grows, and every day I'll see you on the other side.
The Playlist with Doug Garrison is presented in part by Jim's Music and Teaching Center in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, your music, your way. Well, I said we were going to present all different kinds of music tonight, and this next act surely fits that category. From July 26, 2012, this is Harp, Heart, and Bones.
Well, you can see me coming, baby, back 3 weeks away. I can change the night, baby, back into day, 'cause I'm here, long ways from home. Well, you can see me coming mountain back, slapping on my black cat bone. Well, you can drink your whiskey, you can drink your gin, but when other men start quitting, that's when I begin, 'cause I'm here, long ways from home. Well, you can see me coming mountain back, slapping on my black cat bone. Just fast, Eddie. Here come the Bones Band now. Now them other men, baby, they can't do what I can do. They can't work the numbers, baby. Ain't John the Conqueror, but I can. Long ways from home. Well, you could see me coming mountain back, slapping on my black cat bone. Said you can see me coming mountain back, slapping on my black cat bone. Thank you.
Well, as I scroll through my playlist here, one of the things that strikes me is the number of different band names that we come across. You know, when there's thousands and thousands of bands out there, it becomes more difficult to come up with something that's new and original. Well, they've come up with a formula for that to help you get started. What you do is you take the color of shirt you're wearing and the last food you ate, and that's your band name. Well, let's give it a try. Mine would be Purple Cupcake. That's kind of cute. That works. How about you? What do you got? Orange? Nah, that kind of lacks creativity. Got another one? Green Eggs and Ham? No, I think that's been taken. One more. Pickled pig's feet? Well, I'll tell you, if you're eating pickled pig's feet, your band name is the least of your problems. Well, we had kind of a funny thing happen back on April 7th, 2011. We had a band on by the name of Scronat. Well, that word, scronat, sounds a lot like a body part, a part of the human anatomy that we don't necessarily talk about much in casual conversation. The problem is when you get that other word in your head, or at least for me, it's hard to dismiss that very easily. And so when it came time to introduce Scronat, I had a little bit of a problem. Let's watch the tape and you'll see.
Okay, great. All right, well, listen, let's get to it. Let's hear him. Scrotum. Do it. Scronat. We'll cut that out. scrotum.
Got the world in my hands. I got new shoes, so carry them. You don't need to when you rock like we do. Don't buy me a rocket, fly you to the moon. Don't buy me a rocket like keep it on stocking. I'll bring it to the pocket when no one's watching. And I'm gonna walk right here and grab your locket, and I'll put it in my pocket, maybe by the socket. Oh, well, hush, I'm talking here. Can't you see I'm walking here? You, yeah. I grew up in a pool down in Baby Golden Wales. Be proud for a proud, but only mama carried me on my own. Don't need so when you rock like we do. Don't buy me a rocket, fly you to the moon. If I'm headed out west, I can beat the crowd. I can watch the sun settling in the world. If I move past east, I can turn slow, lose back time, save the world. If a superhero couldn't make a difference, they would yesterday's reasons, leaving on fixed. No one else, time so. I'm gonna let it burn, I'm gonna let it burn. Watch the world burn to the ground, down, 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 down. Now I got the world in my hands. Got new shoes, but I carry them. Don't need to when you rock like we do. Don't buy me a rocket, fly it to the moon. I gotta fly the moon, baby.
Are you ready to make some music? Well, Jim's Music and Teaching Center is where it all starts. A great selection of instruments and the area's best music teachers make Jim's Music your one-stop music shop. Jim's Music has name brand instruments, new and used. Plus, they rent and repair, and they have everything you need for school band and orchestra. Jim's Music, locally owned and operated for more than 25 years, and now in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter.
Well, we've talked to some people tonight with various backgrounds in the music industry, and we welcome in something with a little bit different here. This is Gretchen McKenzie, a young lady, obviously, a musician. You've been on the Doug Garrison show before in different capacities. Welcome to the playlist.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. As I mentioned, you're obviously a young person, and I would say that just getting started in the industry, but you're not. You've been playing and singing for quite some time.
Yeah, a
when did
couple
you get
years
started?
Probably about when I was 15 or so, so about 2 years ago.
Do you come from a musical family? Is that where this comes from? Are your parents musical, or how does
My
it work?
dad has a band. He doesn't do it professionally, but there's always been music around, so that's been really nice.
And I attribute that to a lot of the young people I see. Their families are musical. My parents weren't musical. I'm not musical. But I know your brother plays as well. Anybody else in your family? Any other siblings that play?
No,
Just
that's it.
you and your brother? Yeah. Well, from what I've heard, I really enjoy listening to you and watching you play. How did you get started? Did it start in school or did it start at the home?
It started with the middle school orchestra, actually, and then just progressed from there. Really liked it, so I just kept doing as much of it as possible, and soon I was playing shows, and it was really, really great.
Yeah. What instruments do you play?
I mostly play the bass, stand-up, and electric, but when I do things like solo songs, I play the ukulele.
Ukulele. How about writing? Do you do a lot of writing of your own stuff?
Yes, I do. I love to write songs. I have to write all those on the ukulele because I have no idea how to write anything on the bass. Too confusing for me. But I recently made a solo album, and I'm going to have a solo cassette out soon, so that'll be nice.
That will be great. Have you, I'm sure you're a music fan, have you kind of looked at someone who's a professional in the industry and kind of thought maybe I'd like to be like that person, kind of emulate their career?
Not necessarily one person, but there have been a lot of people who've been really inspiring, like people who made great music that was well regarded by a lot of people. People like Jack White and great songwriters like Fiona Apple, people like that. It's really nice to see people succeeding who really know what they're doing.
Absolutely. So. Well, that could be you someday. Speaking of which, what does the future hold for Gretchen McKenzie?
I'm hoping to go to college for bass performance sometime in the future. I don't know. Yeah. Hopefully soon, but
yeah. Maybe be a professional musician of some sort.
That would be the final goal. That would be the best thing
ever.
ever.
There's a lot of careers that you could end up with. You could be a teacher. You could teach music.
Yeah, totally. I mean.
But your own performing career, that's kind of that would be what would be the ideal situation.
Right now, that's first on the list.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. That could
Thank
happen.
You.
One thing, when you get started so young and you go out and playing gigs, I saw you a couple of years ago at the Wooden Nickel. I didn't go into a bar until I was pretty much old enough to drink. And here you are playing in bars like the Wooden Nickel. What's that like for a young person in this very adult setting?
Well, it's actually kind of fun. I get to meet a lot of people who I wouldn't normally get to see that side of Marquette just because, everyone has their own spheres.
Right. And typically you don't go into a lot of bars
right.
as
I mean,
a
normally.
14-year-old. Yeah. Right.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I get to meet all these people and hear about their lives, and they get to listen to my music, and it's great. It's really fun, and sometimes some of my friends get to go to these shows, but that's the only downside. Most of them can.
Yeah.
But
I know when I saw you there, your dad was there, kind of in a chaperone capacity. Is that even a legal requirement for a young person to play in a bar, or is he just there making sure you're okay?
I'm pretty sure legally I'm supposed to have some sort of parent or chaperone of sort there. So.
Well, that worked out good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Now, you're in a number of different bands. As I've discovered with most young people playing in this town, you appeared on the Doug Garrison Show in Team Awesome. Mm-hmm. You're also in Sparrow Tree. We haven't had that group on yet. And you say you're just getting started with a jazz group.
Yes, it's really fun. It's really jamming.
Yeah. What's the name of that group?
That's Generally Indifferent.
Generally Indifferent. Well, we hope to have that group on the Doug Garrison Show sometime. But now you're also kind of working on this solo career of yours.
Yeah, it's really different. I've never really done anything like that before.
Yeah, that'll be called, obviously, Gretchen McKenzie.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, it'd be neat if we could have you play something for us tonight. We have stuff in the can that we had from Sparrow Tree, but it'd be cool if we had an instrument for you to play something. Well, there's a ukulele over there.
That's so convenient.
Could you play that?
Yeah.
We just need a microphone. Hang on, here's a microphone over here.
Wow, that's awfully convenient.
We can maybe make this work. We might be able to get Gretchen McKenzie to play something for us tonight on the playlist. How's that going to work? Is that good for you?
Perfect.
All right. Hey, Gretchen McKenzie.
chance upon a face, the one I rare seen before. The sky is orange gray and the horizons fade, longing to the ever-windy plain. The moon does not exist like a butterfly's sweet kiss, a gentle rap upon my door. I never thought I'd see a younger man like me, sitting cross-legged in the sand. Kept running on by, but a thought crossed my mind. Could this be the lad destined for me? The sky is orange gray and the horizons fade, longing to the ever-windy plain. The moon does not exist like a butterfly's sweet kiss, gentle rap upon my door. Today I noticed for the first time that the leaves had fallen from their branches, that the tomatoes had turned golden, and the ferns had turned brown on their perches. If I was the earth and you became La Soleil, I'd circle you upon every hour. The analemma you would make, and my wish it would take, as you would only exist magnetically. The sky changes every day in that conciliatory way, with the Pleiades side by side, the nebulae. Stars rotating Mars with the red streaks left behind. We're too lonely for this galaxy. Today I noticed for the first time that the leaves had fallen from their branches, that the tomatoes had turned golden, and the ferns had turned brown on their perches. I can see you standing in the limelight. We're sitting just nearly side by side. Oh, but maybe all it takes would be a little leap of faith. Silly silhouette in the moonlight, stranger things unknown to me. Oh, but maybe all we need would be a little push if we please. Today I noticed for the first time that the leaves had fallen from their branches, that the tomatoes had turned golden, and the ferns had turned brown on their perches. If the sun can leave in a heartbeat, who knows what the next hour will bring? Perhaps gentle illumination, or oh dear, come to be realizing.
The playlist with Doug Garrison is presented in part by Jim's Music and Teaching Center in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, your music, your way. You know, one of the things we're very proud of is the quality of the production of the Doug Garrison Show, particularly when it comes to showing our bands and musicians. And I want to thank Dave Poyer and the crew at Thunder and Lighting Video Production for that. Now, let's go to our montage of our favorite performances from year 2 of the Doug Garrison Show.
She's learned to stretch and she's learning to bend. Sometimes she sits in her chair and thinks about how she won't live in a box. She'll paint in windows and take the lid off. Mrs. Mazursky out on the beach, hanging out clothes on the bed sheets, drying a teary eye, mending a seam. Mazursky's living her dream.
Well, there's this girl we all know. She paints her fingers, she paints her clothes. She thinks it will, but you know she won't. 'Cause when she says she does, she really means she don't. Yeah. You take her to the restaurant, and what's on the menu? Well, she don't want. She thinks the chef should add just a touch more salt. And if it's still not right, buddy, it's your fault. She's high, a maintenance woman, without a say come on, I had to push you back. She's high, a maintenance woman. She ain't got nothing. It's worth all that.
Present days, life is the world's largest maze. There is no easy way out. No one can hear you shout. You wander here for days. You can't see through the haze. Your life's been set ablaze. When you get blindsided.
Hey, little thing, why don't you come up here and sing upon the rings of Saturn above all the little patterns of the numbers of Venus and the faces of Mars. Where the shining hearts look just like little stars.
Sleepless nights, hypnotized by those city lights. Oh, so bright. Cover your earbud, hear it blow in your dream. The sun's so low, telling you to go. Oh, it's the game, it's all the same.
I realized the person next in line is mad at me. I paid for my gas happily and recaptured my fantasy. And this is poetry, openly flowing vocally, focusing, zoning, hopelessly broken. They don't notice me. Low on dopamine, quoting when no one spoke to me, going when no one's supposed to be, knowing no one as dope as me. Poetry, openly flowing vocally, focusing, zoning, hopelessly broken. They don't notice me. Low on dopamine, quoting when no one spoke to me, going when no one's supposed to be, knowing.
Ink drips slowly down, skin calls to the sound. If you leave us be, we'll be the best company around. Bass leaking through the floor leaves you wanting more. The encore is something that you've only ever heard before.
You know, if you're ever interested in seeing these bands or musicians perform in person, I have a suggestion for you. Check out Facebook and find Marquette Music Scene. Every day you get a schedule of where people are playing, what times, and who you're going to see. And that's a great resource for finding your favorite bands and musicians around the Marquette County area. Now, looking back to November 24th, 2011, we had a guy that's performed internationally, and we're certainly happy to have him on the Doug Garrison Show. Here's Jerry Mills.
This is the title song of the last CD, and the song is called Lifeline. Story from my pa about life being like a line. From birth to death, with every breath, we're moving all the time. And none of us are quite the same, no two lines parallel. Each of us a different name, a different tale to tell. As our lifelines flow along, they cross at intersections. The kind of person that we are determines the connection. For the narrow-minded, narrow-line connections come and go, but the broader lines that meet sometimes make our lifelines flow. The ad man makes us promises that no man can deliver. The bad man is the taker and the good man is the giver. The madman sure, the happy man knows something he don't know. And the happy man just understands you gotta let your lifeline flow. Gambling man might play the odds on waking up tomorrow, but time don't have no time to spare, not to beg, steal, or borrow. And someday when that clock strikes 12, your final hours are gonna toll. Don't let it catch you by surprise, but let your lifeline flow. When faced with our mortality, we shiver and get rattled, feeling like we're stranded up the river without a paddle. But that old river follows nature's way and knows which way to go. And living's like that river, you gotta let your lifeline flow. Some people really live their lives while others just endure it. Some would gladly give their life while others must insure it. But one man told me long ago before he had to go, son, you've only got one life, so let your lifeline flow. You know you've only got one life, so let your lifeline flow. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
You know, I always like the music more when it seems like the performers are having a good time. Well, this next group, one of my favorites because they're definitely having fun. A little bluegrass from Chasing Steel.
1, 2, 3, 4. Baby, one day I'll cry over me, and then you'll know it was meant to be. I hope someday that I'll be a winner, but till that day I'll drink my dinner. I really should eat some solid food. A T-bone steak sure would be good. This liquid diet really makes you thinner. Like Pavlov's dog, I'll drink my dinner. All right, fellas, here we go. Budweiser, Miller Lite, old Milwaukee tastes just right. My nutrition has arrived, slugging down Colt 45, Molson Golden Cruiser hams, a pork chop in every can. A broken heart is a sorry sight, but your goodbye killed my appetite. I used to love eating them Oscar Mayer winners. Now it's beer, hold the bun, I'll drink my dinner. Here we go again now. Michelob, Milwaukee's best, put your brain cells to the test. Rice blue ribbons, slits and strolls, dip your can and drown your woes. Silver bullets, tried and true, don't forget red, white, and blue. Premium beers, here we go. Founders, Moose, Achilles, Amstel, Light, and Heineken. Bell's Hot, St. Polly's Girl, Guinness gives your hair a curl. Sam Adams, Baxter, Bath, KBC will kick your woo.
Are you ready to make some music? Well, Jim's Music and Teaching Center is where it all starts. A great selection of instruments and the area's best music teachers make Jim's Music your one-stop music shop. Jim's Music has name brand instruments, new and used. Plus, they rent and repair, and they have everything you need for school band and orchestra. Jim's Music, locally owned and operated for more than 25 years, and now in 4 locations. Jim's Music and Teaching Center, where music makes you smarter.
All right, welcome back to the playlist. I want to welcome in someone who is probably knows as much about the music scene in the central UP area as anybody, Walt Lindola, network news director for Great Lakes Radio, and you appear on multiple radio stations, a radio personality, of course.
Well, thank you.
You're very much associated with the Marquette Area Blues Society. I want to talk about that group a little bit because that's really one of the few organizations whose sole purpose is to foster and encourage music in this area, and certainly I appreciate that. I don't want to, there's the Hiawatha Music Co-op group, and there might be some others, but I don't know about them. You guys are doing a great job promoting music in the area, and we appreciate that. Certainly the flagship of your operation is your Blues Festival. How'd that go this year?
Festival went really well this year. We had some great weather, some fantastic acts. Really, on a lot of levels, it was like many others. Great turnout from the supporters, folks from all over the UP, in fact, all over the state and the region. We had people from downstate, Wisconsin, Minnesota, people as far away as Illinois and other places. So it was definitely a hit.
Yeah. And you had good weather. That's always a bonus. Now, you guys also do some other stuff. You mentioned you've got your Blues Day Tuesday event. Tell us about that.
Well, one thing that I think people need to be aware of is when we do this Blues Festival, it really ultimately is a fundraiser for other activities that we do through the course of the year. Blues Day Tuesday is one of those. It's the final Tuesday of every month at the Peter White Public Library in Marquette. It's usually a musical performance, perhaps, or a presentation, a lecture or something, or we show a documentary or some sort of film on blues, and that's open to the public, but we have to pay for that series to pay for the presenters and the performers. Sure. And then we also are working on doing other shows through the course of the year, try to do one at least once a quarter somewhere to bring an act into town. And that takes money, and that's the money that we make on the festival, which is not a lot. I mean, really, it's skirting the edge of a true nonprofit.
Absolutely.
But the little bit that we make goes into these other programs that we try to do for the community that are free.
Yeah. Are you finding that your fostering of blues music is working? Are you finding more people kind of jumping on board saying, hey, I'm becoming a blues fan and I want to support what you're doing?
Absolutely. One of the things that we hear all the time with the festival in particular is people say, you know, I was never really a big fan of the music, but my friend or somebody came to town, they took me along, and I said, they say I really love it. Or another thing that we hear is that people are showing up at the festival or at the other events saying, I'm not really that familiar with the music, but you always bring these great bands to town, so it's fun to come and hang out and people watch and listen to the music and dance, and that's really ultimately what it's all about.
Yeah, you know what? I fall into that category. If you'd asked me a year ago what's your favorite kind of music, I probably would have said rock and roll or something like that. But having been exposed to a lot of blues music from your bands and others that you guys have brought in, like Biscuit Miller and the Mix at Flanagan's, I find it's a real easy music to listen to. It kind of combines a little rock with a little country, and it's just great music.
Blues is a music that is really looked at historically as kind of the foundation of rock and roll, or at least what we think of when we think of classic rock in the 60s, 70s, and that sort of thing. And it really, without blues, there wouldn't have been rock and roll. And without blues, there wouldn't be jam bands, there wouldn't be country bands, there wouldn't be. So I try to encourage as many people as possible to either come to the festival or to an event or check it out, because whatever you think the blues is, it isn't, and you're going to like it.
I agree with that. I find also that I think it's a real good showcase for very talented musicians, people who are really good guitar players or drummers or some other kind of instrument. I think it really showcases their talents.
And motion is what the blues is particularly about. And musical talent is obviously a key. But, you know, really that emotional thing that connects with you when you're watching the music, when you're listening to the music and you're seeing the band, that's really what moves you. That's what got me into it. And almost everybody that I talked to about the blues, it was the emotion that got them into it.
Do you have to live the blues to
play it?
Yeah.
That's the $1 million question. I can tell you this from my personal experience as someone who does play it. what may have motivated me for blues in the teen years is not what motivates me for the blues now. I think that, I think it was B.B. King talking about one of these new young kids coming up a couple years ago. They said, sure, a teenager can feel what the blues is about. They can feel that through their life, you know, or whatever. They can feel that loss or whatever it may be. But it certainly helps get a few years underneath you because that experience gives you more to draw on for the feeling.
Now, just wrapping up with the Blues Society, you're always looking for members for this group. People who are fans of blues or just want to help support what you're doing.
You know, I always ask people that if they're interested in keeping music going, viable in our community, if they're interested in having a live a show or live music in particular, get involved with us. We're always looking for volunteers for the festivals and the other events, and it's only $20 to become a member, an individual membership. We also have other options like couples and things like that. We have some student rates, things like that. If people want to find out more, they can go to MarquetteAreaBluesSociety.com or org, either one. Just Google Marquette Area Blues Society. You'll find us on the internet.
All right. Well, I certainly, in my mind, support that. I hear that you're looking for members. You say it's $20. Hey, hang on a second.
All right. I like that.
There's $20.
All right. There's a handshake deal right there.
I'm not looking for a receipt. You all saw I gave him $20. I'm now a member of the Marquette Area Blues Society.
Welcome.
Great. Glad to be a part of it, and I support what you guys do. Okay, getting back to you for a second. You are a member of a band very well known in the area, the Flat Broke Blues Band, one of our favorites here on the Doug Garrison Show. How long have you guys been together?
Well, this particular lineup has been together for, I believe, since about late 2001, early 2002, the five of us that play now. The band started with myself and the bassist, Mark Johnson, and some other folks, probably about 91, 92, so we've been around for a while in the area, but I know that we've had the luck, the luxury, the privilege of having a lineup that has stayed together for as long as it has right now, which has helped us grow as a group and helped us make some pretty good music, at least in my opinion.
I agree. Tell us who's in the band right now.
Right now, well, it's myself and Mark Johnson, who's the bassist. We formed it back in '91. Lori Hayes is our singer. She also plays harmonica.
Great lead singer.
And Michael Letts is the other guitarist and vocalist.
Also,
and Jim Cohen is our drummer. And everybody that's in the band has years of experience. You know, I mean, when you combine it, we were doing some goofing around number. We're saying like there's like 130 years of combined musical experience in the band. And I think that shows.
It absolutely shows.
You know, we may end up having to, like, for example, right now we're kind of in a little bit of a down period that we get into in the wintertime where we're not working as much as we do in the summer festival season. But we'll take that time to learn some new covers and learn some new songs, maybe write some new stuff. And we get together every so often when we can. Hour or two later, all of a sudden, bang, there's another song, and that's a credit to the talent of everybody involved.
I'm sure it is. Well, you mentioned that experience shows. Well, we're gonna see if that's true. We've got an example. You guys have been on the Doug Garrison Show multiple times, and here it is, the Flat Broke Blues Band. Enjoy.
I see you coming, I turn and walk the other way. You know I love you, baby, but you bring clouds to a sunny day. Well, when I see you at the party, won't leave right there and then. Well, when I see you at the party, won't leave right there and then. 'Cause with you there, honey, the good time's about to end. You're always pissing and moaning and belly aching, tried to please me. You never
Bring on the bacon and you go to town, honey. There's nothing shaking when you get back home, baby. You're always faking. You call me a drama queen. You should see what he does. I had to blow the scene, yeah. You know I love you, baby. 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 You know I love you, baby, 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 baby. It's true. But you bring clouds to a sunny day.
Well, that's everything off my playlist. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed seeing and hearing our favorite musicians as much as we've enjoyed bringing them to you. And you know you can check out all these performers as well as the show in which they appeared at our website, which is thedouggarrisonshow.com. Also, please like us on Facebook so you can keep up with the show. And watch The Doug Garrison Show. We're on every Thursday, 3 times on Charter Channel 12 at noon, 6:30, and 11:30. We air on Fox UP at 10:30, also available on Charter On Demand, YouTube, and at our website. We're also live streaming the taping of the show. Like us on Facebook, click on the live stream icon, and you can watch the show as it's being taped every Tuesday night. And now, some final thoughts. You're either still watching after 2 hours because you have an unhealthy obsession with me, or because you really like music. If it's the former, friend me on Facebook and I'll try to talk you through that. More than likely, it's the latter. You really like music. And if that's the case, and if you'd like to see music continue to thrive in our area, then you have to actively support it. And by that I mean, every now and then you have to spend some money. Maybe you'll buy a CD, or more likely, attend a live performance. You know, these musicians love to play their music, but even more than that, they love to play in front of a live audience. Check out the Marquette Music Scene schedule and see who's playing where, what time, and what venue. And check them out. They'd love to have you there. And whoever is hosting that event would love to have you come through their doorways and visit their business. You know, maybe it's a fundraiser, maybe it's a wedding reception, a bar you've never been to, the library, your church, wherever musicians are performing. Go check them out. Applaud when they're done. Let them know how much you appreciate the fact that they have worked years to hone and perfect their craft and become a very talented musician that you respect and appreciate. I'm Doug Garrison. Thanks for joining us for The Playlist.